of this one as well. We'll reiterate, this is not an elimination game. This is a both of these teams are qualified into the playoffs already. It's the quote-unquote seeding game where the winner will get the little bye in towards the semis and the loser will go into the quarterfinals. It's a big fun one here in the server for this best of 3 between Astralis and Falcons.
Well, I mean, it's a good little tidbit too to know that the loser of this match, right, they will actually have to play against Vitality, who we just saw.
That's true.
Whether or not that's actually something they want to do, we'll see. But regardless, that's, you know, some extra incentive here to get themselves across the line, because the teams coming through the lower bracket are actually of relatively good strength now. As we see, Magis just taking some territory early out, no one opposing that cross to secret, and so Nico now is going to have a fight on his hands, but he's going to opt to just push back into the site and allow his teammates to help.
Yeah, well, he might need a little bit of assistance from Kyosuke at the moment, who's going to find Hooksy to start things off. And there's a bit of an overwhelming at observation room, and he's just trying to find what he can. Does get laid to rest in the end, and Jabbi hasn't pushed anywhere just yet. If he can find a way back in towards this round, they'll be able to reroute towards the top side at the moment, where Magisk now manages to open that one up for the goods. It'll be for the plant as well now for Astralis.
Now, Jabbi's got that off angle, watching the push into Hut. So he's going to be instrumental. His Device is only then watching the Hut after him. He's finding the first, looking for the second, and just looking to delay Tess's, which he does brilliantly. And now Nico, 1 versus 3 from Hell. Don't think it's going to be within the realms of possibility, but the time is certainly against him as well.
Oh, Nico's going to certainly give it a good run in, but as you mentioned, the time, that is an issue because there's no kit. Will he claim everybody for the remainder of the round? Device around the corner will get the better of him, which is something to be said in this one as well, Jim, because I was kind of looking back at the history between these two players in Nico and Device as well, and Nico's had Device's number for the last 5 times, stretching back across the time into the Falcons now to G2. We actually have to go all the way back to the Ninjas in Pajamas times for Device in 2021, where he got the last victory. So it's
Nip didn't
been quite a while.
Device on Nip didn't count, man. I'm sorry.
It was the last time. I mean, hey, a little blip.
That's a whole chapter looking to be rewritten now. Nico with that deagle. They do get the cross down into secret now, but Hooksy just able to trade himself out, upgrade his pistol.
Oh, one-on-one trade. I'm sorry I've put slander on the name. Both of them falling in the server first for each team. As we get a little bit of the slower proceedings at the moment.
Just looking for the slow contact play. Walking out straight into the Hut. Is it going to catch? Test is unaware. Good for one.
That's a good one.
Second.
He'll find it as well. This is looking a little bit better for him. Does get traded. Remember that Stale was down in lowers for the longest time. Now does come back up towards the top side as the bomb plant does go in. It's in the player deficit scenario right now for Astralis as well. A chunky grenade to be sent to the heavens, and it will hit Kixan for a big chunk of HP, but all 3 CTs to mount the retake from the same spot with no kit again. In effort, they go together, holding each other's hands to get somebody on the bomb is what they need to do now. Mate, that doesn't even bloody matter, does it? Monacy, welcome to Nuke. That's a head cracker, and Falcons will equalize early.
Yeah, good way to get yourself involved early on with the scout. And honestly, all on the back of Tess's solid deagle hold top sight was his. And he did enough to do exactly what the team needed. Just these 2 out of Hut. Nice and crisp. And they're looking good, Falcons, after losing that pistol. Quite a run of form too from Falcons. It's safe to say that they are looking very scary heading into the major. And obviously looking very scary heading into, you know, the playoffs of Chengdu. So if they can continue to start amassing the rounds as they have in these matches, Astralis are going to have quite the fight on their hands now. Contact taken at ramps. Doesn't want to be isolated. The rotation will come through.
Need a little bit of help from Monacy, but Kyusuke is just going to get isolated a little bit right now. It's unfortunate no one can push him with a molly or a HE grenade, but the swing will come on through, and the spray control is not too good for him. It's not abhorrent, though, because there's a little bit of damage that Device has to his body. That's a rough one for Magisk as well. Remember, this is the pistols for Astralis. If they can somehow swindle this round, they would be laughing. As with a minute to go now, there's a bit of separation around for the players. Kixan to be traded. And looks, he might find the timing here, but he pulls it a little bit prematurely. Now they know where both of these remaining two players are on Astralis. The double doors opened. And they're going to have to play a little bit of overlook on this bomb now. Smoke goes on as well. Stair, can he come up with something at the moment? The answer is no. From the peephole at the moment, Tessus gets taken down. The 1 versus 1. Tap on the bomb.
Run out bullets.
Sidearm pulled through the door. Can't get it done. Monacy will grab the defuse alongside that 3K for Falcons. Well, it's early stages. They'll take the lead, but they'll win anyway. So it's saving a bit of face there for them.
Yeah, definitely some moments in that round where it felt as though they could be forced back. Hooksy doing a decent job, but just couldn't get it finished from the doors. And so timeout coming out early on just to sort things out. But I mean, if you're at, I guess, the position right now of Falcons, you're feeling confident. You've taken a few losses in some of these rounds that you've won, but the money's relatively good. Things are looking nice. You have an idea that Astralis will likely buy into this round, knowing that you've taken some losses. They've got the bomb plant down, so they're preparing for a full buy round potential coming out of Astralis' camp. But just some early smoke lineups coming out. Get those smokes down outside nice and early. Let's see whether or not they actually...
For those that might just... for those that might just be joining us as well, map pick of Nuke, of course, for Astralis. So they definitely want to get off on the right foot. It's a hot foot for Device at the moment, down to 60 already. A blow up on the smoke for Nico. Can't really confirm anything. It's all unconfirmed damage delivered to Device at the moment. What is confirmed, though, is Monacy for the opener.
He's on quite a tear already, isn't he? The informed player right now.
Yeah. A little bit too early breaking that glass, unfortunately, and this buy-up of Astralis after their timeout is not looking too crash hot, is it? Unless we can see something special come back from Device and from Hooksy. The bomb down this B site needs to get planted, but there's no assistance in utility at the moment for them either. Need the individual brilliance, you would assume, to come up with something here, and that one is not good for the start or for the finale either for Astralis. 4 alive, an upgrade of a rifle for Kixan as well. And it's not how you want things to go on this T side.
Now, you definitely want to do more damage if you're Astralis. You probably wanted to take at least maybe 2 more guns out of the economy and have, Falcons at least buying in 3 more weapons and keeping that economy low. The fact that they've kept 4 alive there, that's really good. Stabilizes things for them. They've got money now to spend a little bit more on utility and obviously rebuy if things do go pear-shaped in this round. If you're Astralis right now, you're kind of emptying the tanks a little bit, particularly if you're Device, really trying to get as much as possible out of this round. Just also trying to keep the pressure applied to the economy of Falcons.
Back towards the Outers line at the moment. You want to try and go for a wall of smokes. That'll be all the utility that you bring into this round. Gone by the wayside. The scout will get a good tag on towards Monacy. but it does bring in the full focus of the Falcons towards this outer red location as well. And now you can start to get some damage on in. And Nico, good for the double. And looking a little bit hungry for more as well. Will get put to rest by jabbi. So equalize 3-3.
Yeah, may have been a bit too adventurous with that wide swing. But the rotation face to face. Style on Tess's. Now they've got control of this lower side if they wish to take it, but they're just going through and taking their time. They don't want to overextend themselves. They don't want to rush into things early on. They're going to double back to this top site, hoping that they've done enough to force that rotation. And it looks as though Falcons will be grouping back up at ramp. So this will work out in their favor. They'll be able to get that bomb plant. They'll be able to get that post-plant positioning nicely. But it's actually now some heads-up play from Falcons that is going to take control of T lobby.
Remember, Monacy was tagged up a little bit earlier by that scout. Now Astralis equipping themselves with some big weaponry as well. The off vent right now from Stout, confirming one. And Monacy's going to reveal himself. This just looks a little bit too far gone. That's a bit of an upsetty spaghetti round for the Falcons. They would have felt comfortable going into that one, knowing that the economy was on the edge for Astralis, but they managed to bring that one on quite nicely. 3 alive at the end.
Yeah. Could have been something if they made it work in that retake, but both trying to filter out through Squeaky is always a really tough ask. It's very easy. You are the fish inside the barrel. So the faster approach now, Squeaky open. They're going to try and force that issue. jabbi does actually get kicks in trying to cross into the site. So now they're going to apply some pressure outside. Try and keep the eyes of Falcons on outside. They have gone many times down through secret, so they know this could be a relatively viable fake.
I was just having some flashbacks to Tyloo as well when that squeaky door blows open. Trying to get down that vent. That pain game. Burning on the site though is Tessus, and he will falter and fall. This is looking a little bit too overwhelming by Astralis into this top site right now, and by that call, Falcons immediately booking it to the save situation.
Yeah, don't want to risk anything, do they? They were in a position before where their money was quite good, but this constant forcing through from Astralis has just been enough to break that down. They keep 3 weapons in here. They can give themselves a really good shot in the next, but full credit to Astralis for being able to really work the extremities of the map. I mean, as soon as they get that pick too on the top side, they're just pulling eyeballs outside with that wall of smokes. So tactically, they are looking quite astute. Astralis.
Yeah, tied up scoreline. A discussion to be had over on the Falcons side right now as well, and how to bring a little bit of stability in towards a map in this Vito that you've looked recently all right on in form. In fact, only having one little falter in Fisher against Fury. Apart from that, green all around. But it does feel a little bit different compared to when you had your big win, for example, over at Bucharest too long ago. No Monacy in that one. Magisk as well. We hear in the interview, he was on the Falcons at that point in time, now switched over towards Astralis. There will be these little utility tendencies and tells that he may be able to remember and translate over to this Astralis team.
Always some added incentive, right? Playing former teammates. If you feel you're hard done by, you've got your chance at your redemption arc. Now, again, early wall of smokes outside. This time they're going to cross on through. Nico's going to be sprung upon by Magisk.
Like a drop bear on that one, just straight on. Nico scratched on up. jabbi and Kixan in the smoke. How's going, mate? Sit down. Astralis are definitely hungry to try and take the lead in this one, but you overlook TSS on a little bit of this wrap at the moment, and he might be able to bring something back. The util goes his way, and he's stuck. He's absolutely destroyed by Stayer, and it might be a little bit too far gone already for the Falcons to get back in towards this one. Top side in the 2 versus 4 with an AWP in play for Monacy and not a lot of utility. Yeah, it just feels extremely difficult to try and get back in towards this situation. You know that Astralis are not going to give you a free fight. You're just going to have to head for the hills once more.
Yeah, not a fun fight to try and take. Obviously going to try and get out of there with what they've got. But I am enjoying Astralis, the way that they're actually, executing with some volition behind what they're doing has made things very, very difficult for Falcons. And so they do continue to roll with this. They can start to put some CT rounds on the board. They're going to give themselves a really nice account here on Nuke. You can see Tess is really just trying to backpedal out of that, right? Like, as soon as you start getting shot and you're walking through that squeaky door, you know it's over. You're just counting the milliseconds until you're dead.
Yeah. Well, this one looking a little bit closer in the contest in the early stages compared to when they fought each other last time at Pro League. It's a little bit more smooth in the round accumulations instead of a little bit backwards and forwards. We'll see if there's really going to be a stretch further in that regard as well now that the eco is coming on back for the side of Falcons. I say eco, there's of course the AWP and the A1S behind it as well. Maybe, just maybe, there's going to be a way that you can echo what G2 did in the last map to keep things interesting on Mirage.
Yeah, that was an interesting encounter. Now, speaking of drop bears, Style was to drop in for a chat here. Would Manessi bring him the tea and biscuits? No.
No.
Not welcome. So Monacy will fall. And so that actually activates the topside rush.
Yeah, and there's not much you're going to look to do here, or is there? Kickstand good for the first. Traded on out, and the further elevated player in Kyosuke down as well. Device will dispatch of Nico. That is some swift pickings to come through from Astralis. Starting to look pretty good on this T side of their own map pick.
Man, I'm not going to lie. Hooksy's a pretty decent point man. Getting out of that hut. It's not the first time he's ripped Falcons a new one. I'm liking that. That's exactly what you need. So, just back to early pushes here. Trying to utilize his spawn, Jabbi.
Oh, it's super quick, isn't it? Straight on out, but this time there's a little bit of a crossfire, and the util is just going to block you from further entering into the site. But Magisk down the vent might come into a good activation a little bit later on. I wonder if the Falcons are going to be aware of this predicament.
Well, Device just posted up. As the reshuffle coming through. Now they're just allowing Magisk just some time to see if any rotators will be picked off by his position, but they've just got that double up on ramps there.
It's an important one for Falcons to not squander with this player advantage. Straight into the line of Monacy, looking for the double, but he will not deliver. Kyosuke now to try and plant his feet, and he will do so successfully. That early activation component of Magisk when he drops down the vent, null and void now, essentially. And it already looks like there was the huge, keen awareness of the Falcons as well on where his position was going to come from. So a nice little answer back from them.
Certainly was. I mean, you can't run into a line like that against Manessi. He's certainly having a big impact at the moment. That being said, though, Astralis still hold that lead quite nicely, quite well. Oh, the tempting fate there. But they do get that wall of smokes down. So time after time, they actually have made these push through the smokes, and that's going to grab the attention of Falcons for the moment.
And what does the adjustment look like at the moment when that's the last HE grenade to try and have an attempt to blow open some of these smokes and take first casualty? Well, the AWP I thought maybe was good for it.
Well, they do have the territory now. Star's going to find himself in trouble. Utility out. Kixon capitalizing. Now they're going to try and get that working in topside. Device does 4 Tessers.
Ooh.
Oh, Jabbi.
They're just going to pass each other in the smoke at the moment as well. Kyosuke might be able to deliver something decisive in this one. Can't find the second. Jabbi aware as well. Quick head on a swivel to turn back around as the bomb starts to make its merry way down to that lower side as well through the ramp. We switch it yet again, but Nico is here and he can't deliver it. Yes, he can. 16 HP. Time an issue, and presence noted as well from Magisk on the little lurk by his lonesome self. Now just down to the captain to see what he's going to be able to do. 41 HP, and Nico already repositioned around, caught putting down the bomb. And whilst you do get it planted, you're not going to have the fight in the action. Defuse will come, and we will tie up once again.
Yeah, a little bit more money. Maybe would have liked to have seen him take an extra scalp instead of going for that plant, but regardless, it wasn't going to be an easy round for him to win from there on in, just maybe some damage on the cards. I like the way that Falcons, after making some contact early on, did try and continue to try and push for some info. Did really make it quite difficult for Astralis to kind of settle into the mid to late round. So, tactical timeout coming out now, and for Astralis, what they need to talk about is where they go to from here. What we did see was actually some effective entering from Hooksy into the top side. So, if they can just set the round up like that before, again, they were doing a really good job of pulling the attention of Falcons outside and maybe even sprinkling in a little bit of ramp presence as well, and then obviously regrouping and hitting that top side with Hooksy on point. That was a recipe for success. The question is, though, Falcons, are they going to be expecting something like that? Are they going to actually up the ante themselves this time and go for like a lobby crunch, which would really put some pressure back onto Astralis?
Yeah, the alteration back in towards outers as well. See what Nico's going to be able to spot, but it's a bit of a stopping power from Astralis. They'll reset themselves as well. More smokes to be delivered in outers too. Keep attention over towards here. Keep that bird's eye view of Monacy in check.
Just going to walk in the annex. Kixon's not going to be ready for this.
Oh, it's a little bit of a gross spray, isn't it? It's a perfect flash on the Monacy as well. Just getting isolated out of the heavens. And Nico can only find one. It's quickly done as well. Astralis swiftly answer back. After dropping 2 rounds, they want to try and take the lead at the half exchange.
They went back to what was working, and that was the topside hit. All they were doing at the start of these rounds is drawing attention and pulling that outside, pulling it away from the topside. And you can see that, like, poor Kixon's sitting in a spot where, like, he's backed into a corner against the vent. He's got no idea these 2 teammates holding outside actually don't have eyes on the annex. And that just allows that collapse into topside. Again, where Astralis have found so much success. This round's a little bit different, though. Monacy just going to push his way through. Give me some of that Monacy magic.
Definitely need it, though, don't we? Minimal utility to play with on the Falcons. Take a little bit of a risk. You see so much of these outer wall smokes be repeated by Astralis. It just draws a lot of your own utility to make yourselves a little bit weaker for any tail end of the round. And this is just tantalizing at the moment, isn't it? Jabbi toying with death around the corner. He goes a little bit wider. He will get tagged in the arm to a 17. But really, it's Kyosuke now that needs to deliver. Mate, he's got 2. That's at least okay to keep things interesting. There's some softening around the server on a couple extra members as well. But you're just trying to find some time to get that bomb in towards one of these sites now.
Well, that's going to make things difficult. 1v4 for Magisk. And Kickson's going to reposition there.
Oh, I was going to say, he might get down into the lower site, but unfortunately not. Hey, there's a bit of a recovery at the tail end of that one for these teams. They'll tie things up on the exchange. Quite a close affair here on the first map of this best of 3 between Astralis and Team Falcons. And I got to say, Astralis doing a good amount of work to keep Monacy in check with that AWP. Not able to come out with some commanding efforts like he was able to do against Spirit, for example. No aces again to be found. No massive 4Ks to be stolen by the team either. But are we going to see something a little bit special from, well, anyone in the server come at this pistol round? We're already starting to get in towards this top side, and Testis, well, maybe he's going to come out with a little bit of bamboozling magic here. Yeah,
he's been quite handy with the pistols, hasn't he? And that certainly has continued now into the second half. One plan in. seeing whether or not Hooksy can just find something. You know, shot in the dark, quite literally.
Yeah.
Nothing on offer.
It's a 5 versus 3. And you're going to have to dig real deep as Astralis at this turning point to get back in as well. Device is going to offer his head up on a silver platter now that he's been spotted out. There's just no way that you're making your merry way back in towards this site if you are Astralis. Maybe you're getting a couple of exit kills, but it almost just feels inconsequential at the tail end of this one. The Hunter's even on the rampage from the Falcons to try and remove everyone from Astralis. And by the timing and position as well, Device will be able to take the Kevlar into the next round. But a quick one, nonetheless, gathered by Falcons on this pistol.
Yeah, great entries there, just destroying the angles held by Astralis. So they get into the action very early on in the piece, just crouching and deliver. But force buy coming through from Astralis to try and put the pressure back onto Falcons. So early smokes outside to help just prevent any pushes from being effective. All the smokes will go up and the Device will probe that smoke with his scout. Nothing necessarily on offer. Needs to be careful. Everybody else from Falcons just grouping back up to put pressure on ramps. Now Steyer's got that MP9, but he's not going to try and test it at an effective range. He's going to wait for Magis to help him out. This could actually work if they are not careful and don't clear their angles properly.
Yeah.
They're not
with
convinced.
this force up as well from Astralis, there's not a lot of utility. So if that all goes down, they're going to have to be a little bit more decisive to go frolicking. Otherwise, they're just plain reactionary for Falcons in their execute that's going to minimally come in towards the top site. What can Jabbi do here with this Deagle to try and find the right opportune line? The answer, we are waiting for it, and it's never going to come. Neither is anything else that Astralis are looking to throw in towards this round. Just Hooksy and Steyer, and, well, at the lower side of the map, it's just going to be another situation, the El Classic on Nuke.
Yeah. No chance for anything to happen here. Steyer wasn't even keen on taking contact at ramps. He was falling away. Now, if they can upgrade, that's perfect for Astralis, but Falcons aren't even interested in sticking around for the conversation. Easy as you like. And Falcons just able to get themselves into the top side nice and easily. Tess's has been quite handy with that Mac 10 on entry. Really doing a good job of disrupting any site holds. Now I know they've been on force buys, but the fact that he's getting in there and allowing his teammates to have so much space on entry, very critical role. And so Astralis is still going to struggle with their economy a little bit into this round and hopefully force a gun round into the next. If they could do some damage, that would be fantastic.
That certainly would be. When you go off for a force buy and it doesn't really work out for you, well, you just need to make sure that you're trying to answer back immediately with at least something. You'll provision yourselves a buy after this, but are you going to give the Falcons the idea that they can start to make a mockery of you on your own map pick? Well, you definitely don't want to see a situation like that. Using the outer wall of smokes to scurry across his Kyosuke. And, well, he's just going to be by himself. It would be a delightful upgrade for Hooksy if he's able to find it. But the full focus is going to be onto the ramp room at the moment. No one's looking for Steyer. He has just been overlooked in its entirety. He'll be good for the first. Eat a grenade. Eventually, potentially be traded out. He will. Tess again. In with a multi. Had a very silent CT side, but now on the T side, starting to find his own footing.
Okay. If Jabbi has anything other than a USB here, I'd back him in for one, but this is going to be tough.
He's got the Zeus, and he doesn't even get the electric beam in there. That's unfortunate.
Just a little Zeusless.
Yeah. And we go again in
we're back.
Save Simulator.
DJ, play that same track. Well, this has really slowed down, hasn't it?
Yeah. But we've been kind of just waiting for the rifles to come back into Astralis' hands anyway, right? We've been waiting for the AWP to reveal itself for them as well. The eventuality that we know will come. We'll see what little exits do happen as well. Hooksy in for a double. So it can become costly a little bit later on, you would maybe hope to assume here. But with the amount of money that the Falcons already do have, it's more problematic on the side of Astralis at the moment if they can't get things in check.
Yeah. Definitely feeling that. Well, now it's time to get yourself in check. Open the hands of device. So, again, early on, this is going to be very interesting. Faster contact play in through ramp. They're going to really try and test and push through this smoke.
Here we go, though. Stay up. Not able to do it. Monacy in for an opener and a cracker with the assistance of a Tesses. Now we're back into the smoke situation as well, where it's all the audio cues of what you can find. Kicksan just trying to figure out where he bloody well is in the smoke, and he's going to find himself behind him. But does he wait too long? In for the first, the double as well. This is a nail in the coffin in this round. It has to be another save situation for Astralis, and this is what I was talking about. When you get your first buy on this CT side and you're looking at the money that's being built up by the Falcons, if you're not able to convert and really manage those finances, it is going to look woeful for you.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, Kicks in there was the splinter cell, right? Like just silently inserting himself into vents, playing that smoke to perfection. Decent. And that was pivotal in winning that round for Falcons. So, okay, they're not going to try and push that smoke though.
I would have liked it.
It would have been bold.
Little pop flash in, remove another gun. Make the dream of this T side running in a flawless variety even better. You will push Astralis to use their third and final timeout though, unless we get into the overtime realm.
So they do have those two saved guns across. They are going to try and buy in to support it. But they have to pinpoint where the pressure is coming from and what is their adjustment to it. Last round was a faster contact play. Totally off the cuff for Falcons. Is there going to be some aggression coming out from Astralis to try and maybe put that ball back in, forcefully take it and put it back in their own court? Doesn't look to be the case.
Oh, they need to do something, don't they?
Same play again.
Same play again, and stay up. Well, he's actually going to live to tell the tale at the moment and scream while he runs away because he needs a bit of assistance, you'd assume. As Falcons claim the ramp room, they use very minimal utility to do so and provide themselves with a lot of options now around the top side of this map. Stretch to bottom. And a slow creep up.
Well, hasn't he got some work cut out for him?
He's got a left heavy here. And Magisk was the one that was behind him, and he can't be the spotter. Unfortunate. They are good for the one. And that's the B side that is going to get overwhelmed at the moment. Can there be any way that Astralis can get back in towards this one? At least a bit of a saving grace that the bomb hasn't gone down for them just yet, so they might be able to catch a little straggler when that happens, and that's exactly what we see. Hooksy able to dispatch of Kickstand. Can't find the double, but the trade is there from Jabbi. And we go backwards and forwards in this one until it's all down to device. And with the AWP that has had zero impact so far, it will finally put its feelers out. And Kyosuke will catch him looking the wrong way. The Falcons, they certainly want to make this T side look dreamy, don't they?
It is dreamy. That is for sure. But damn, they look to be unstoppable at the moment. I feel as though you don't want those doors open when you've got Nico standing on the other side of them, right? Like, it's just a killing floor. But this faster contact play coming out of Falcons these last 2 rounds has really been the difference maker. They're not going to go into it this time. Obviously, they want to shake things up a little bit, but also knowing that it's likely Astralis are not going to have full weapons coming into it. So they're going back to the slower approach, going to try and put some pressure on outside. Now, is this going to catch Monacy off guard? No. He's always aware.
Yep. Just omnipotent, mate. 0 CT rounds on your own map pick of Nuke at the moment, Astralis. Is it going to continue that way or not? Investments in this one not looking too good to punch in the digits. You're going to have to get a little bit cheeky, you'd assume now. The normal style of CS that you've tried to deploy in towards this map in this instance against the Falcons is just not working at all. Hooksy falls, and later, well, I was going to say, it would have been Device, but he does get a second breath at it.
Yeah, I think he's got to try and weigh up his options here, right? Like, does he try and continue to try and hold this angle, take the fight? Or does he get out of there quicker than a rat up a drain pipe and get up the vents?
Well, maybe they have to just scurry away on this one, especially jabbi. Got this A1S in the play and he's just not been tested whatsoever. 20 seconds to go. An opportunity starts to maybe be presentable for them. An AK upgrade, but you got to have a little bit of focus in towards the site. The bomb plant starts to go down. It's a tap to bait out the spray to get Nico on the line. The rest of the team, they can't do anything at the moment. It's the hunt. It's the fight, and he gets shut down. Okay, Astralis, maybe you've got something in yourselves this round. Kicks on towards jabbi, and now it's a focal point towards the annex, where Kyosuke just shuts you down. 18 frags he's putting up in this one. The leader for the Falcons in that frag department, and now they find themselves on map point.
It was a decent effort from Astralis on that force buy to at least get it into that scenario, but like, man, it's just a masterclass being had here right now by Falcons. They're looking unstoppable. There hasn't been an answer found by Astralis, and I don't think they're going to find an answer in this map. It's just, honestly, they've been reading it and making the adjustments perfectly. Contact plays into, things slowing down right when the timing's working. jabbi's already taken a jab in the arm, just trying to get into the top side. And this is the problem. They're not even being able to get into their positions early on. So the smoke go down, the cross will come through. And this is going to be tough for Astralis to recover. Okay, that's going to help. But they're going to have to try and defend this map with 4 players. It's a big map to try and cover.
We're not really talking about equalizations here or anything for Astralis. We need advantages, and they're just not able to find them. jabbi's going to sidestep out and now go into the coffin. It might be lights out on this map for Astralis very soon. 3 to go.
So back to the T lobby for the regroup. I mean, they really do have their pick of where they want to go at the moment. They're just allowing to see whether or not...
Oh, again.
The map can open up.
Timing again for Device looking the wrong way. And Magis likewise too. Things are just awfully timed at the moment for Astralis. Sometimes it's been on themselves. Sometimes by some other intervention. And then there was only one to try and recover something in the server for this map for your own choice, and there's just nothing that you're really going to be able to do, is there? Kyosuke will put you to bed. 13 to 6 here. Team Falcons get a very convincing victory, especially in this second half here on their T side. Such great fundamental ideas, executions, and strategy being showcased here as they are looking for the top seed coming out of this group. It might have a grain of salt because one could argue, the Tyloo game that they roll was not, wasn't a Na'Vi, or it wasn't a Vitality, right? That's just the way that these brackets do go. You play some teams, you don't play some teams, but you have to be beating everybody. And if they can keep beating everybody that they get placed against, then they can get to the finals and maybe take the victory. So we will see. Mirage is where we head now. It is the pick of Falcons to see if they can take this 2-0, or if we have some resilience put up from Astralis.
Well, the resistance so far is Jabbi at ticket, and he's got the world going to rain down on him. So he just has to fall, give site control away to Falcons. Oh, Nico's going to take jungle anyway. So the bomb.
I thought that was Nico. I thought that was Nico who was jumping across, but it wasn't. He was up at the palace. Right now, though, Jabbi has snuck a little bit secretly in towards the site. It's confirmation that there's many members coming in from the CT spawn area, and Jabbi, well, not getting finished off earlier is going to be a bit of a problem for the Falcons, isn't it? He's even going to look to end this one with the 5k. It won't happen. He will fall. Magisk will be there for the final, but it does ultimately mean pistol to Astralis.
Incredible composure from Jabbi, right? Like, he takes some pretty heavy early damage and watches his teammates start to fall around him, but he rallies really hard, gets himself on into the site, and continues to menace for the rest of the round. Like, I don't think you could picture a better comeback.
Oh, they're going to be able to still extend with it, though, right? Just wipe off the misgivings over on the first map. Start off strong on this CT side. Massive upgrades into the A1Ss as well for them. Just hooks you down onto the MP9. But there is that force up for the Falcons too with the plant that they get.
Just some juking in and around mid too. You can see Astralis are getting a little antsy. Falcons happy to take their time. Maybe some late contact top mid. Kicks in though. I mean, if he's going to be initiating this with that smoke, then he's going to just give that passage through into mid for Falcons. I think if you're in Device's position, you're likely going to be able to fall here at the moment. Magisk as well. Doesn't want to be isolated.
Not a lot of utility anymore for Astralis. And if you're seeing the Falcons get a little bit too close to comfort in the window, you might want to give up the control of mid at the moment. But they're going to look to have a bit of a pea shooter here. Stay out onto Tessus. But it doesn't look like there's any awareness that jungle is a bit compromised. Is there a 1-to-1? No, it's a 2-for-none at the moment for the Falcons. They are extending out quite convincingly with 20 seconds to go to try and get this bomb plant down. Some more information is what they're looking for right now on the remaining players' spots, Hooksy and Device. See if they can bring something back. The vent blown open, Device shut down, and well for Hooksy. You just might want to try and take this A1S into the next round. We're talking about finding the right foot on the CT side of Mirage Gym. The pistol was good. This one, and not so much.
Yeah, some of the illest Galils you'll see just charging their way through mid, right? Like, Monacy just tearing completely through Astralis. Hooksy should hold on to his M4. Just can't decide what color he wants.
Pick the skin, yeah. It's all great for me. Yeah, Hooksy will be able to take this rifle in towards the next round as well, but a problem at the moment for Astralis when, yeah, as I mentioned, you think you're going to get off on the right way on Mirage, and that just happens to you pretty convincingly as well. You found the first opener too, don't forget, right? You had what should have been advantages. You had what should have been a round solidified. Never. You can never take anything for granted in Counter-Strike.
Oh, no. And if you do, you get quickly found out for it. So, well, quick boost didn't work, but Device finds a way through. So the Scout's just going to continue to try and place some pressure on the Halls. In the meantime, though, you've got presence top mid. So, Astralis, okay, there's some damage being done. They kind of want to fight Device. Just peppering that smoke, making sure that there's no push coming through that is unknown to them. Slow control, down through mid. That pop into short is only moments away.
Oh, there's some tagging looking to be happening at the moment. Kisuke to find Hooksy. Majiski needs all the attention drawn away from him, and he will find one. The second would have been gorgeous. But as the extension for the Falcons still comes out into the B site, they're not met with too much, are they? Just the pistols that were remaining, and Jabbi can't find it either. Maybe can get a little bit close in the HP department for a couple of the members, but it's nothing too shaky that the Falcons can't shrug off.
Strong statement. Easily able to recover from what was, I guess, just some pestering from Astralis. But just on pistols now, maybe looking to pop themselves into mid, try and flood on the CT side.
No L Classic CT USP stack either. I've seen some of them over on Inferno already, but nothing Mirage will ride home about in that regard. Just see if there's going to be any cheeky frags or anything from Astralis here. More importantly, a conversation to be had without investing a timeout. Got to make sure that when you get those proper A1Ss in your hands that you can really put them to good use. It's one.
Yeah, it's one. They did try and flood mid like I thought they might do, but what can you do, man, when you got, you know, potato guns?
Yep.
Coming up against AKs in mid. Device is angled out. He's covered. And Falcons keep things nice and clean for themselves.
I mean, it's another situation where there's some damage, don't get me wrong. But it is just another scenario where the Falcons are not all blinded and just relieving their hands off their mice, right? They still just shoot you. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
They've got guns, you don't. You need to catch them with the double dink, with the triple dinks. Doesn't happen, but this is ultimately what we were waiting for, right? The proper weaponry back in the hands of Astralis. There's a bit of a mid investment here to see if there's going to be an opening kill or not. Kixan getting sprayed down a little. Gonna make him think twice about going too greedily here. Or will it? Oh, how has he gotten away with one?
He's got one. Trades there, but Device's numbers up. Oh, is this going to be flashed in? But it's not.
Oh, no. Wait, hold. I thought there was a world in which he would have been able to find one to make things interesting, but unfortunately not. Another scenario where the Falcons do have a double player advantage. And you are so far spread between on this map as Astralis now. Hooksy and Jabbi. They just have to do it by themselves. The bomb is not in the possession of Team Falcons, though. There's an opportunity for Hooksy to do something a little bit disastrously here. Here's the footsteps. Honesty. Yeah, can't get it. Okay. Could be a fumble here for the... Never mind.
NVM. Jabbi.
He doesn't want to shoot, though.
No.
If he can play on the side of discipline here, they're going to bring the bomb to him. There's a world. There's no time to even rotate towards the B side at the moment. He's got an incendiary, but Jabbi, he's second-guessing himself. He was transitioning towards the B side. It could have been done. It still might. No. Tessis gets the trade. And it is the gun round of Astralis shut down, but boy, was it workable.
Yeah, I think just second-guessing himself there, right? Like, wow, okay, hang on. That player that was taking jungle may have been rotating back towards B. That's where the other two were going to be. Surely they would have found, you know, revealed themselves by now. But thankfully, Tess is there for the trade. A lot of HP lacking in that round for Falcons. They do find themselves out to a 4-1, and, you know, no real surprise to see the tactical timeout to come out to try and stem some of the bleeding. I mean, if you're Astralis, right, like, you got to get your CT side together. You got to get it organised.
Yeah.
Put some rounds on the board. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself with very little rope in the second half.
you can try to stem the bleeding, but we're definitely missing the medic in this one. I mean, the timeouts didn't really prevail at all for them over on Nuke. They should have been off to a really good start here, right? But the second rounds just get swindled. So we definitely need to see a penny drop moment for them, that's for sure.
Don't know how many times you can drop a penny though.
Well, it depends how much, money you want to pick back up at the end, right?
That's true. Hopefully you got a good back. A lot of mid-control being given away to Astralis at the moment. That heavy presence towards Palace is where they are concentrated.
But is it going to be to any avail? That's the question at the moment. Nico starting to make his way through Palace itself. The rest of his squad over in mid as well. Good execution on towards Jabbi to start things off, but you do walk into the stack now at this A site. You're going to start to get the awareness levels on it as well when Nico swings out of the Palace and just, well, A main we haven't seen. That's where they are. We confirm that information, and it's all down to Hooksy when device falls. And he's even going to potentially be heard. No, he'll be good for one on a Monacy.
Ooh,
and a second onto Tessus. Okay, it could look to be a little bit damaging, but the money is still relatively healthy for Team Falcons. And they do, in the end, make light work of that round.
Yeah, he was looking a little dangerous there, Hooksy. Just some, resistance at the end. Maybe if you could take an AWP out of that, get away, it would have been a nice little, nice little bounty to take, but I think they just really need rounds at the moment, Astralis. Exit kills are all nice and good, but if you're not getting the rounds on the board eventually, man, you're going to run out of steam. And we saw it in the first map, right? Like, they were completely undone by a rampaging Falcons. And I think as though, the signs are there for this to happen again. This gun round really needs to go the way of Astralis, otherwise they're going to find themselves in big trouble, and that's going to be contact play straight to B.
Well, finally, Device gets an opportunity to try and deliver something, but Nico has something to say in towards the site as well. We start to get the trades out where we possibly can. You can't afford to miss the shots like that one. Kixan does get traded in the end, and we'll settle into a 2 versus 2, but old mate Jabbi, well, he's still on the A side itself, so he's going to have to link up with his comrade. And they're going to have to retake together up through short.
Yeah. Oh, Modesty on the line too. You don't get any chances whatsoever.
Nope. And now just Jabbi. He has found the timing to slink on in. Missed shot from Monacy. He might get felled here as well by that HE, but just dodges it with a good little sidestep. And Kyosuke's position not even expected from Jabbi. It does technically get a little bit close there. What could have been for Astralis, but it just does not faze Falcons, does it?
Yeah, these contact plays that they've been, executing on what we first saw as Nuke and now Mirage have really kind of put Astralis under the pump. And honestly, they're so explosive. Once they kick into gear, Falcons, it's really difficult to try and stem the flow. Oh, misses a chance there. But we're only going to see, a partial buy coming out of Astralis in this round. They just want as many gun rounds as possible, but also want to be competitive in the rounds where they're not possessing guns.
Yeah. Just going backwards and forwards between buys and little party mix assortments of pistols and submachine guns. Maybe sometimes you get the A1S in the fray, but really never coming out with anything, is it? Need to almost just be gifted around by Team Falcons at the moment. We'll see what can happen here. There was damage last time in a mid affair such as this. Flash goes in. kills start to come on now. This is looking a little bit better from Astralis this time. They'll come out on top in numbers. They'll take an AK as well as Nico gets in towards the A site. I don't know if he's been spotted by the angle of Hooksy. It feels like potentially, but downrange, you're not using an MP9 in a challenge like that. So he's just waiting for the smoke to fade. He'll be tucking himself in it as well. Monacy, aware of that one, sees the other member over towards short as well, but you gotta expect Stayer coming from behind. It's not expected at all, and this is the opportunity for Astralis to double their round count.
Well, double it they did. It was a hard grind, wasn't it, to get themselves involved? But it's honestly this push coming through that made all the difference. And so Falcons, okay, have to go back to the drawing board. They do take a tactical timeout on the back of that second round loss for the half. If they can recover themselves nicely, obviously it really does put a little bit of pressure on that city economy too.
Yeah, I thought, you know, at the 6-1 moment, you'd be absolutely chilling if you're Zonic, for example, right? The boys are doing what they need to. They did what they needed to over on Nuke as well. One round comes out like that. Just have some involvement and just make sure that we steady the ship back in track. Still on the way for a really sensational T-half as well. A bit more rampy up through towards mid this time. Kiyosuke and Nico just absolutely booking them. And there's even a split in towards this A side as well. This just feels absent in this round for Astralis. And that's not even to take really anything away from them, because unfortunately, Team Falcons have just really destroyed you. Straight shooting in your faces.
Yeah.
And whilst Device finds one, it might just be one and done. He's already heading for the hills.
Yeah, there's nothing he can really do to salvage this round, right? Like, all he's going to try and do is play to retain that AWP, keep it in his hands. And you can already see Nico's on that extreme flank. So, you know, this is going to be Device with his work cut out for him just to hold on to the AWP. He's going to be popped.
Nope, can't do it.
Just, you know, executioner style from behind.
Yep, a very, very blessed timeout to come through from Falcons that time.
Yeah, this Falcons T side is bussing.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Astralis, it's a bit of a paper defense, isn't it? Hopefully they're going to be able to turn it around. Another AWP has been delivered to Device's hands. There's a lot of faith that he's going to be able to do something here.
Yeah, again, just fast down catwalk. Really trying to apply very quick pressure. Pressure on short too, isolating Hooksy.
And he's caught with util in hand as well. That's not what you want to see. Meanwhile, that AWP that we're talking about as well is going to be present on the A site. And if you drop the top of con smoke, that just alienates Device from being able to really see anything. Blow open the smoke, spot there's nothing there. And now Falcons will start to adjust.
Nico. Could catch some timing here as he steps out through mid connector. Device also got eyes on it too now though. That's the issue. Should be traded there. Doesn't hit the shot. Will he get a second bite of the cherry?
Oh, Tessus.
Man, Tessus
Gets
is
on out.
So
yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate for Device there because Jabbi misses 2 shots out of that 5-7 and then loses his life. Maybe inconsequential at the end of the day anyways, because it was, what, the 3 versus 5 at that moment. He gets the kill. Look, maybe there's a way in which that one did work out, but for poor old Magisk now, he is just looking for an AK if he can get one, and that's not going to happen either. There'll be a bye for Astralis in the next round. But we are staring down the barrel of a very possible 10-2 half for Team Falcons now. And Given what we saw in the last map from Astralis, they need everything that they can get here on Mirage.
Yeah, everything they could possibly muster. Otherwise, yeah, this second half is really going to be quite an uphill battle for them. Now, you can just see that the timings Falcons are able to execute on Astralis is just highlighting how much of a weakness there is at the moment in terms of the cohesiveness on this CT side, right? Like the fact that Tessus is able to step out of Palace in that last round very easily. I know it was only facing a 5-7, but still, the amount of times they've been able to do that on gun rounds, just, you know, step out on this site to a completely bare defense. It's been quite alarming.
This round, though, isn't going to look too bare, as there's a double AWP set up in. It would have been a nicer fight to open with as Hooksy with that AWP, but Modesty only gets tagged, and another opportunity will not connect.
Okay, Yabby's actually going to go for a push. This could be make or break. Oh, good trade, though. This late activation through mid-connector is of concern.
Device is looking for it. Yeah. There's the Palace protection as well. If Nico comes out a little bit later. Still got the crown on his head for that situation too. So if he can keep on getting some victories from there later on in these rounds. I mean, there's only 2 to go, but this is the angle that Team Falcons are going for at the moment. A lot of utilities start to execute in towards this A site too, and Magis starts to rotate on over. You need everything you can get if you're Astralis, and that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? Nico waits very patiently and finds results with that duel, but you do bowl over Monacy. With 30 seconds to go, Device takes the forward line, gets traded on out. We keep on rolling with the punches in this one, and Magisk finds a very keen frag to pretty much push Kyosuke into an untenable situation. A 1 versus 2, the cross being looked at by Hooksy. And it goes down. Can you come out with the 1 versus 2 right now and just destroy the dreams of Astralis on this CT side even further? The round the smoke you go, but Hooksy's patient and he gets the kill for Astralis to get their 3rd.
Hooksy patient under pressure. There's so much pressure coming in. To be honest with you, I thought he did really well just to get the plant in that situation, let alone bring it down to a 1 versus 1. But it is a costly round win for Astralis. They do lose 4 weapons. But honestly, Device was instrumental. He was forced off the comfortable line. Had to take a far more aggressive stance on a ramp, and he got the job done. So bringing Astralis their 3rd round, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. They've got to get this last round of the half to give themselves the best possible chance, and the change of pace here from Falcons hasn't worked out.
Oh, Yabby, good for the shutdown. There's a bully attempt from Team Falcons in this round, and the bully hunters are out. Don't tell me there's a universe that will see a 2 versus 5 come through for Kicksan and Monacy in this one. Talk about a recovery needed for Astralis as well on this CT side to at least have the tail end of 2. Be very welcome.
Slow and steady here, trying to win this race.
There's an opportunity again, though. Device. The quick scope's good. If he dropped that duel, there could have been a way. There could have been.
Just in the right place at the right time, Maznik. Oh, that's going to be it. That is going to be a 4th round for Astralis to bring things up to the half. They give themselves a fighting chance. Will they be able to capitalise on it in the second half? We'll find out after the break.
Team Falcons still looking to run their flawless adventures here in IEM Chengdu with the 2-0 series that they play. If they can close out here, they'll do so again. And for Astralis, well, we are looking at you. Get a little bit closer, get off to the races on this T side.
Yeah, off and racing, certainly are. 3 players straight down catwalk. They've got the B presence as well through halls. Testers will be watching that. And so just the players through short to contend with. Testers actually decimated that B halls presence entirely. And now Yabbi's got to reroute through mid, but he's got no teammates left. They're all gone. He's going to have to just play 5v1, no stress.
If there was ever a world to try and come out with some pistol round, it's going to be Jabbi, right? He's been good for the pistols, and then we're wanting a little bit more from him after the fact. We'll see if he can get another big one here on the A site. Tessus on 1 HP. He's not even going to be the first. He can't even finish him off. It's Tessus to get the kill and a 4K of his own. Things go from bad to worse. Astralis get the plant. Yeah, but that's it, mate.
That's it. They were completely bowled over, trying to get themselves into B. And, well, yeah. Look at this. He's just the rock. Look, fair crack to Jabbi. You know, there's only so much you can do in that sort of situation. You got the bomb plant down. And that's really about it after that. So, it does give them some weaponry, some money to work with in this round. So they're going to force into it. You've got Jabbi and, of course, Magisk on the Galils, which we actually saw Falcons put into very good effect in, you know, the first half in the exact same sort of situation after losing their pistol.
Yep. Device gets softened up by the HE grenade first. In the spread positions around the map, though, you are definitely looking at these Galils, as you mentioned, to do some significant damage. Kicksan down to 12 HP now. He'll second guess himself going for any ambitious attempts over at that A site.
You're just back to regrouping here for Astralis. Going to try and overwhelm this A site. Kicksan's going to change his position up. He actually doesn't have a lot of HP to work with whatsoever, so him either being at the boxes here and falling under balcony, it's not going to take too much to bowl him over, and he's going to have a lot on his plate very shortly.
Yeah, well, the execute starts to come out from Astralis. A little pop flash to send him on in as well. He gets a little licking of damage in there, but it's Nico to come out with the double. And Monacy, he falters a little bit. So the overwhelming forces now of Astralis to get on in towards this A site and try to establish the bomb. It goes down. And now it's all on to Tessus. And this smoke, he's going to Pinocchio himself if he goes through this one willy-nilly. That's exactly what happens as well. Magisk, close as you like at Astralis. They will echo what Falcons did to them on that T side too.
Yeah. It's kind of mirror matching itself, isn't it? The way that these first few rounds of the half have played out. And so, just back to pistols for Falcons. Default set of smokes coming out for Astralis just to take that mid-control early on. Also trying to prevent a push and drop through underpass as well, so...
This is where you may see the fruits of Astralis' 2 rounds at the tail end of last half come into play. Shut down the force attempt of Team Falcons. Win this round cleanly. And you just have to contend with when the proper buy comes back up from them. Then we got a game. As long as,
gentlemen, we have a game.
As long as you don't slip up here.
Yeah. Last thing you want is the banana peel to appear. Just waiting for that smoke to clear before inserting Jabbi. Actually going to refresh that smoke too.
Ooh, Kicksan. Lucky to get out of there.
Yeah, he gets out. So they've got that player in place in window. Going to clear out the ladder room too. Oh, Hooksy. Why don't you just dig in, son? Have a go. Look for more.
Nah, he's only going to be good for the one. That means there's a gun to be picked up for Team Falcons now, and Kixon hasn't been seen just yet. He's going to sliver on out, but he can't find any decisive damage. Well, maybe. Device down to 14. Opportunity arises for Falcons to be able to do something here, but they're going to not worry about it. No real money. Take these guns and look to do a little bit of damage in the next round, or maybe even steal one away. So, well navigated in the end from Astralis. You'll still be all right. That Hooksy's your only casualty. Because just importantly, you need smart decision-making on this T side. You're a map down where it felt like you were out more times than you were in. You had a really slow start to this one as well.
Yeah, little by little, though. They are just making their mark on this match. Trying to grind their way back in. No easy feat. The save of that M4 will be a nice sweetener. Coming
yeah, you had the FAMAS as well.
Yeah, they've got it in the right hands, haven't they?
Well, Nico's been doing some good shooting here.
Yeah, he's been doing some good shooting, but why not? Give it to the youngster. Set him up for success.
He's also very capable of a bit of high noon action too. So we'll see. Cheeky boost on the bricks. Keep going towards this unders route for Astralis, and for a bit of a mid proceeding, you might fall prey to something like this in the early stages of this CT side.
Oh, jeez, okay.
It's not even the player on top.
Nah, that came with a little spray too, didn't it? A little verbal. It's a good start for Falcons in this round. Now, is Tessa's going to try and extend his luck out into mid? He's adventurous. Finds Device.
Oh, and Kixon as well. This is falling apart for Astralis in a round that there's no business in Falcons having any solution towards. But hold a second. Stair is certainly trying to bring something back. Nico.
Oh, man.
The bomb, though, is at top mid, yeah, and there's guns down as well that you can get a couple of upgrades towards, but now you really start to split positions around as well. Monacy start to get targeted in towards mid, and Nico reveals himself too. Magis gonna jump on up, and Nico will get the shot. I said there's a bit of high noon in here, and it's a yeehaw scenario for Falcons. They find 10.
Oh my goodness. Just straight up deagling their way into this. That's the Nico I know. Cool, under pressure. Buy out of Astralis is going to be relatively decent though. No adventure through the smoke just yet. Wait for that flash before anything happens. They just walk it out, actually.
Mid is not where we're looking to end things as Astralis. Together as a team. Back to the corpses of last round. Creeping on up. Kiyosuke looking at the wrong spot. Monacy, though, the protector. And now the little young gun gets activated as well. Silenced after one. As the bomb makes its merry way for an attempt to cross. We're going to try and get Hooksy a gun. He'll pick up the AWP. 50 seconds for Astralis to try and find a gap in the map.
Don't think that gap's going to be too easy to find. Nico, all the time in the world there on Hooksy. And so they're going to try and get on in. Just Magisk left. There's not too long for this world, unfortunately. That is going to be... This run around stopped. I don't know how the money situation is going to give Astralis any help in this next round. I don't...
No.
No, yeah.
No. There's
full eco.
There's nothing you can do. Yeah, you need money for some guns in the next round. This one is not where you take the risk to just force up, for sure. And when all else fails, Jim, a B rush.
That's it. Oh. That's a very meaty grand. Tess is under pressure.
But can he perform in the pressure? Can he be turned into a diamond or delivered down to the grave? The overwhelming Glocks now start to come out into this B side. And all right, maybe we've got something to be said about a faithful B rush at the moment for Astralis. Oopsie. He was late, but he gets his frag, and it might just very well happen. Falcons will not be finding 12 just yet. This is the blessing that Astralis needed from the stars. Kixan already falling back. He wants none of this one. They have done it.
Yeah, just on the full eco. That's wild, man. Should have been around.
Wild is a word, yeah.
Yeah, it's
it's comical. It's comical, right? When you think that the round should be going the certain way to Team Falcons, when it is the very, very minute investment from Astralis, and they get in and they get out with the weapons and the round. It's brilliant. Well, they might even not hold these guns. That's the problem now. They'll lose one.
Look, either way, you know, Falcons losing to Glocks, dude. That kicks things off, right? Like, Magisk with a deagle, I think a lot of people forget how handy he can be.
I think for me, it's just more importantly, you know, in these sort of situations as well, you need a catalyst, right? Is it a single round? Is it a player? Generally, we have seen it be, you know, an actual player that'll come out with the moments and then try to hype them up. In history, Magisk has been someone that can do that. But right now, right, there's been a bit of faltering in the server. Been putting up the performances so far. Getting a couple of clutches here and there as well, mind you. So to come out with some very important rounds that we'll call the nth hour. Got to spark something.
Yeah. Well, hopefully for Astralis, it is that spark that they need to ignite the flame. Otherwise, they find themselves extinguished at the hands of Falcons. Obviously, it's not an elimination game, though. Just means that, well, Falcons could put Astralis in a matchup directly against Vitality. That's the reality of this match. So the loser here, their next match is against Vitality, who finished third in Group B.
Big opener for Monacy. Just very patient, and it will come towards you. Yasuke overlooked as well. This is where it starts to fall apart from Astralis. They win the hard ones, Jim. And they might falter on the less hard ones. It's still hard, don't get me wrong. An AWP staring down at you at the B site, where you've not really got some util proceeding in to facilitate advantages. Is very difficult. Now Magisk looked at as well. Good for the first one. Cannot allocate the second. And whilst Device gets Nico, there's only 14 HP in a 1 versus 3. And he gets his face obliterated at the end. It is now series point for Team Falcons.
Certainly going to be very difficult for Astralis to fight back into this series from here. It's a nice shot from Device. The problem is, though, the next matchup he has directly is with Monacy. And that is a difficult angle to try and force. So a tactical timeout from Astralis. Might be their last of this series, because I don't know this is going to go into overtime. So they've got to make it count. What's going to be on the menu for them? What Australia's going to be cooking up in this round. I think on the team side, they've kind of struggled to crack this this egg.
Certainly so. And you're doing it with an assortment of weapons that doesn't embolden confidence, does it? At least Device has that AWP back in play. But he gets overshot a little bit by Monacy. The mid prowl at the moment. Only going to be seeing the boost with the AWP. And it's worth it, isn't it? Kiyosuke, none the wiser. Oh dear. Oh dear, Nico. How have you gotten away with all of those ones? You've stolen it from Kixon as well. And as Magisk falls, it's all down to Jabbi. 43 HP and a 1 versus 3 to hold on for Astralis in this series. The bomb in no man's land. And if Kixan still goes on a journey, he will find it. But now the jig's up. Jabbi. Oh, Mr. Jabbi. You've been found.
Yeah, there's not much for him to do from this position, is there?
Nope.
Good luck. I think this is safe to say that Astralis will likely be matching up against Vitality in this next stage. And that's exactly the way things will finish. Nice and easy for Manesi. And that is easy for Falcons too. I think it's safe to say that this match kind of fizzled out for Astralis. As, look, they will be just turning their attention to their very next match. They're not out of this competition whatsoever. They're just going to have a much harder draw coming into